Hey dummies, how's it going? It's been an interesting week, as it always is. I say that. It's not truly been that interesting. I think it's just a placeholder for what people say in order to avoid having to go into the complexity of using certain words to describe how it's been. I went and had food with some relatives. I had some fun, really. I genuinely enjoyed that. It's good to see people and do stuff more. I kind of talked to my parents. I had discussed the metaverse with one of them, kind of just going back and forth about what to expect for the future. And they love the gloom and doom. The older people get, they love the gloom and doom. So when they meet somebody they're my parents. But when I start telling them how I really feel, 50-50 whether or not they're going to love it. You know? I'm like, the metaverse, people won't even shower. You'll shower in the metaverse just because it technically mines Bitcoin every time you do it, but you can only do it once a day. So I was discussing, the metaverse things. But it got into a point of why the metaverse? Why do people want that? Why do people want a shiny thing in a fake reality as opposed to a dull but useful thing in a real reality? And I think it starts to come down to that things, A, aren't as useful, and B, none of this is really real, and there's too many of us to uphold the illusion. When there's only like one or two people, you can hold up the illusion that things, but like, money isn't real anymore. It's just nothing. People just give you money to sign for brand deals to do ads, and it's like, did you earn that? Where did that come from? Not only that, but also, if you're just using that money to stunt and to flex on other people, what if they just give you stuff to stunt and to flex with? Wouldn't it just kind of wouldn't it just take you a step closer to what you're doing anyways? Because, all the metaverse would be, all that stuff is owning things online is showing off. It's caring about how you look to other people. So it's kind of interesting, too, because that's kind of a hard sell for some. Truly. That is a hard sell for some. People have been against it since computers first came out, talking about how people are going to be lazy, how people are no longer going to be able to work for themselves, put in a hard day's work. You can't put in a hard day's work on a fake internet. You take off things and you feel like you need to move, Maybe that could be different if we had a full-bodied metaverse where you're moving around constantly doing fun things, but I doubt it. I truly doubt it. But what does make it normal? Is there something about going to a store and seeing real people that people like? There can't be that much, because people all talk about the self-checkout. Everyone wants to go to the fucking self-checkout. Don't talk to me, don't look at me, I'm done. Although, like I said, the pushback, the other people who were like, look at all these lazy bastards. I had to go to self-checkout myself. I'm a hard-working American. I came to Walmart for a curated experience, and now these fucking bastards got their goddamn cashiers just moseying around. No, they've fired half the workers. So they're all doing other things because they've been replaced by machines. As they still pay the rest of them slave wages. Sorry. It's not slave labor, truly. It's just slave wages. Yeah. There's some other things, too, though. How much could this add to real things? So, for example, with the metaverse, with these fake things, how much could this add to a sex doll? A lot of people have had sex dolls recently, right? It's a thing online that's kind of been going up there. A lot of people have been starting to get more and more into it. The numbers go up each year for sales. They get more and more technologically advanced. They look more and more lifelike. They feel more and more lifelike. At what point does it stop? And at what point is it aided by everything else? For example, if we get the metaverse going where there's Bitcoin mining, and there's all these things constantly running. What's to say there couldn't be AIs put into this, you know? And that could truly, I mean, kick up the notch of companion dolls, as they're called. And so you're probably wondering where I'm going with this. Basically, this week I had stumbled upon, I have, on Snapchat, I watch some of the news things. Not for news, because they are not news. If you watch Now This, you are so stupid that I don't know. If you watch Now This and it feels like anything but a play put on by people to just like make them feel better about being fucking totalitarians, whatever. It's just they're shitty. It's all shitty news stuff that's all biased. It's basically the tabloids of news things. But that's the thing, is that they have a far reach and a lot of people see them. 3 million people can see them in a day, you know? And one of these that I had seen was called Love Don't Judge. Love don't judge. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. It does not. And so there's a lot of fun things on here. There's some pretty wild ones, some throuple stories. Obviously, every sex-positive show has a throuple story of 3 genderless weirdos just doing the newest Threes Company as they slime across each other. You don't know what gender they are, but you know they all get wet when they fuck. I don't understand it. But on this one particularly, there was a man who went by the name J. Doll King Hefner. J. Doll King Hefner. So I think it's J. Doll King Hefner. I'll say it again if you need. No, okay. J. Doll King Hefner. And what had happened was very interesting, because they start taking these videos, and they take videos of these people, and you're like, oh fuck no. These are the people that if they stopped to say something to you in the grocery store, you would get visibly upset. You might be scared. You might think of your children as they come up and ask you any question, because it's going to be something insane, and they're going to ask for some part of your life. These are the people that are like, hey, can you help me real quick? And like, oh yeah, sure, what's up? And they're like, yeah, I just need a ride a mile down the road. No. I can pick the milk up off the top shelf. I can pick the giant box of Cheerios up off the top shelf for you, whatever your name is that ends in EY, I'm sure. But I'm not going anywhere with you. They're like, oh, God, you're such an asshole. You're so selfish. You're like, what the fuck? You're gonna kidnap me and somebody's gonna rape me. You've already promised my rape to somebody else for exchange for something. Hell no. And so you see a few people like that. You see a few people who are like, what was the one? It was a Love Don't Judge. This was a fun one, because it was like, her name's Ashley and his name's Tony, and he, because like it's always like, and they are swingers, or it's like, and they are non-binary couple, or like they are into pup play. But this one was like, this is Ashley and this is Tony, and they tell each other what the fuck to do, and she doesn't ever get to leave her house. She lives like it's a little house on the prairie as he goes out and fucks hookers. What the fuck? No, it's literally the whole thing. Their pride thing. Because this is the weird thing. Kink shaming, bad, right? So can we make kink encouraging also just as bad? Right? Like, it's cool to be like, this is normal, but it's not cool to like show 100 million people and just like children, right? But so this like lady basically is wearing like skimpy 1950s pinup clothes. Not really. She's wearing like somewhat normal clothes. They're kind of like tight or whatever, but not very revealing. It's pretty moderate for what we've seen recently in the past years, you know. And basically the whole pride of it is that this guy tells her what to do and she has no choice. So it's like Ashley wakes up and she texts her boyfriend 3 different outfits she put together. That way he can tell her what to wear. And so then he tells her what to wear and they meet up. She's like, do you like it? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever, bitch. Alright, let's get some food. And she's like, okay, what do I want? And he's like, oh my fucking God, bitch. You want a salad? Like, could you imagine for a minute a woman that needs you to tell her everything, which I get that it's a type, okay? It's out there. Sir, if you need that, sir, it's there. There's more women there's not one of these. This isn't a unicorn. Nope, this is going to keep happening because people are going to be so fucking dead inside that they're going to be like, I just need whatever man will fuck me unconscious and scream at me to do whatever I need. That's all it's going to be. It's nothing. It's OnlyFans for relationships. You just get your fucking cunt gouged until you just get your shit filled until some guy just gives you a grocery list of things to do for the what day, and 8 of them is sucking his cock. You know, it is very funny to have this right next alongside like thruples and people who are like gay or like men with or women with beards. You know, you put that right along the guy who's like, you can't fucking leave the house today, bitch. You fucking made that Kool-Aid with too much goddamn sugar and you're not going outside. The dog goes outside. You don't go outside. No, you know what? You poop outside now. You shit outside with the dog. No, the dog shits in the toilet. You shit outside now. And the dog has to let you out. You know? Like, it's just, why? Like, it's just a whole, like, who gets off to any of this? You know? What is this? You're just ordering people around? It's just fucking weird. No. On this particular love, don't judge. Trust me, boys. Boys and ladies, probably like statistically 3 women. I mean, half a woman probably. We probably have to get twice as many subscribers to actually work our way up towards a woman. Anyways, on this particular love, don't judge. We had a man. Have you ever seen those people? They resemble. There's a certain type of man. He's usually of mixed race. He has Pokemon shirts. He wears jean shorts. And he has an afro. Usually has an afro. Not always. Sometimes there's like, there's never dreads or anything that like takes upkeep or time. It's just always something that's like kind of like nappy or natural that like looks all right. And it's basically the mixed kid that's really good at Smash. You know, Super Smash Brothers. In America, these are very popular. There's a lot of them. They slightly have autism, but they're really good at math. There's usually some semblance of like an older autistic father. It's a lot of fun. And so we have one of these people who I imagine is really good at Super Smash Brothers, right? And he's decided he's living differently than others. He details going on a date with a woman and paying $100 for dinner. I have people I've loved for a long time, and I've never bought $100 dinner. Understand? So that's a lot. Like, if we go to a nice place, like, I'll tell my girl, I'll be like, no wine. We can get trash at the corner store and pull up, all right? Don't you dare fucking buy one of those $14 a bottle of wine or whatever shit. It's not even $14 of a bottle. It's a glass. $14 for one glass of wine. Fuck that. I don't need that. We'll fucking drink a Four Loko at the corner, shotgun it, pull up, and I'll order a steak medium rare, 12 ounces sirloin, you know? And that sounds delicious right now. And what was I saying? Jesus, how did I get there? What am I talking? I'm fucking so hungry now. God damn it. But basically, this guy. Oh yeah. So he's out to dinner, and he's just, this woman's like, hey, by the way, I got a girlfriend. Fuck this. He goes home. He counts all his money. He gets all his money up. He becomes his own accountant for a day. Figures out how much money he has, and he buys his first companion doll. She's redheaded. Her name is Callie Soon. And these dolls, he puts a lot of care into them, more than I've put into some real relationships, sincerely. a lot of care. He dabs off the dust that collects on their silicone bodies. You know how silicone gets dusty like that? He like always wipes them off. There's one girl that he carries around in a towel because he's always so worried about her skin getting hurt. There's one girl that... And this dude fucking rocks, dude. He's so fucking funny, dude. He's so funny. So he's sitting there and he's like, this is Callie Soon. She's my main bitch. He's like, I love her to death. We'll go out to eat, get pizza, watch movies. We do everything together. And then it's a video of him pushing her in like a stroller wheelchair type thing, like into the corner store. And he's like, oh, thanks, Callison. Oh, hell yeah, thanks, Callison. So like they're taking pictures, like videos from his YouTube, basically. He's like, hell yeah, thanks for serving my girl. And like his girl, like the gas station attendant took money from Callie Soon or whatever, the doll, and did the transaction or something like that to like play into the thing for him. He has very small, like, conversations with them. How's your day? Would you like some pizza? He'll hold the pizza up to their mouth and then he'll eat a piece. He's like, I love you. I love these women. There was one girl that's like, because he has 4 dolls basically. There's another girl that's a blonde doll that's smaller, skinnier. She was wearing like blue Nike fuzzy shit, like head to toe, all Niked out, like in her own shit. Like this woman had to have had on $150 outfit at least from Nike. And he's like, what was her goddamn name? Oh, this is Saima Renee Uzimuki. I never do anything good enough for this bitch. I could never do anything good enough for her. That's what he said. I could never do anything good enough for her. And then, there's Secretary Tsunade. Like Sonata. Like Tsunade. Like he doesn't know any fucking Japanese. He's just naming them anime names like that sound somewhat. So this is Secretary Tsunade, and it's spelled like Sunday with a T at the beginning, like tsunami. Like it's so fucking dumb. It's a Tsunade, and it's just Sunday with a T at the beginning. That's all he had. He's like, this is my secretary. He talks like Ice-T played Smash Brothers instead of gangbanged. He's like, this is my secretary Tsunade. She signs all my paperwork, which I'm sure is just like whatever, keeping his papers up to date for his whatever. I don't know how many what do you have to sign? Huh? You get these women dry cleaned? Is that what? But he is very prideful of it too. He'll carry them out in public. He'll talk to people about the dolls. He'll be like, "This is my woman, Rayami Uzinaki." You know, like, and he'll be like, "I don't know, dude. It's insane. It is insane." But he also deals with that a lot. I'm trying to make sure I got all the. Yeah, like he's very close to just calling them Suzuki Cadillacs, so it's very hard for me to remember exactly what their names are. And at one point, he looks at the camera, and he's like, let me tell y'all real women something. Like, so every time he talks to women that aren't dolls, and I don't know if he'd ever address dolls as a whole. Like, I don't think he plays into the bit to the point that he's addressing the dolls as a fan base that are like as if everyone else is a doll too and there's nothing wrong with her. He talks about them like there's a separate entity of real women. So it's not like he's confused and thinks she's a real woman. He thinks she's a doll, and he'll address real women. He's like, so let me tell y'all real women something. Maybe your man don't require as much work as you think he does. Now at this point, after he says that, this man's spitting facts. I'm looking up dolls just to see how much expensive they are. I don't care, but just like when my homie comes up to me, he's like, listen, man, this shit ain't working out. I'm like, bro, you need to get you a Toyota Uzimuki, okay? You need to get you a motherfucker hoop-de-loop-de-hoo, all right? Because that bitch will do you wonders. I know J-Dog King Hefner. Trust me, you will have a 4-word name soon as well, and you will have just as many women as you have names, you know? And you'll be cool as shit. And you'll be telling bitches what to do to have real life boyfriends because they can't get them because they're watching yo videos, you know? And so you're going through, and like, this is a curated thing. They had to watch his YouTube videos, 'cause that's what they're doing. His car has a YouTube thing on the side, like it's got his YouTube name on the side, and so they probably saw that, started going through, kind of editing some of his videos in through it, and it looked good. It did look good. They showed a lot of like good ones of like the clerk recognizing the girl, him talking to somebody and be like, "This woman, I love this woman. She's a regular woman to me. A lot of women ain't taught me right, ain't paid attention to me, ain't love me. This woman gives me affection," and stuff like that. And so he was also talking too, and they're like, "So what do you say?" Because there's the people. Right? There's the people. Oh, sorry. There's the people, right? And they go, "You're a pervert. You're sick and you're a perv." They see this man pushing his fucking disabled girlfriend in her chair, and he calls him a sick pervert because he likes a disabled woman in a wheelchair. Of course, the woman is a doll, so she can't hear him, but if she could, what is wrong? And the guy can. He's not deaf. He's not disabled. If he was, it would make it a lot simpler, and I think he would be allowed. If he was deaf, I think there would be people that are like, let him fuck the doll, you know? But he said something very deep as well. He goes, "Those are the words of man." He said, "Those are the words of man, and I can't let those define me and who I am." Now that was interesting, because that suggests a level of deep thinking and a connection to something that is beyond description, that can be beyond understanding. That is what he's truly describing, is saying, you cannot understand it, and I'm sorry. You are calling me a pervert, and I understand what you're saying, but you could never get the love me and Uzimuki have, you know? You can never understand the love that Oogie Boogie and I truly have. When Dookie Lucy and I have consensual cuddle time, because we don't fuck. He claims they don't fuck, which is just an odd... It was just so weird. He's like, and that's the other part too, is that he's like, it's not perverted. If he says it's not perverted, but he does fuck them, I almost believe it. You know? You see a guy with a doll in public pushing this disabled doll in the wheelchair, and he's like, alright, he already likes to fuck women that are somewhat disabled in some ways. Maybe we should just let him fuck the doll. You know? Maybe, hey, what if there's one less guy on the list? You know? What if there's one less guy on the list? We let him just fuck Ookie Dookie. You know? Maybe there's just one less dude out there. I think it's fine. Although, just if you say you don't fuck the dolls, I don't believe you, and now it's a little weird. Because I know you just fuck those dolls in every hole and cover them in fucking gold bond. I know you just cover them in gold bond and just slide around and fuck on them, you know. So after I'm done with this, I'm like, wow, because I'm thinking to myself, this guy has kind of taught me some things. He's insane. He's a weird guy. Obviously, you're gonna be fucking weird if you're hauling around dolls in public and you don't care that other people don't, that are like, what the fuck is happening right now, you know? But I go to the YouTube channel and I find something that Love Don't Judge could not iterate. I found something that Love Don't Judge could never truly understand or put forth. I found a fucking dude. A guy who fucking just, one of his videos is titled Tighten the WNBA Uniforms. He was like man, I'm watching the NBA and I just can't help but think these bitches is fucking it up, man. I would watch Australia sometimes just because they have them fucking tight ass uniforms. You know what I'm saying? If we had some tight ass uniforms, I bet a lot of people would be watching WNBA. Huh? Yeah. It's not sexual, nothing. Don't matter if you like boys, you like girls, but you put some tight uniforms on them, a lot of more people gonna want to watch them. You know? Saying shit like that. And I'm like, you've got me, sir. Hook, line, and sinker. Take me away. So, I started watching him. He had a bunch of shorts with a lot of fun, different ideas, different little shticks. There was one where it's like Linkin Park, What I've Done, Numb, like dubstep type song in the background, like na 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 na. And he's got a fucking hood over his head. And he's like, in the world, in the world where there is dolls everywhere, we will build skyscrapers and statues to Uzimuki Hashu. And he's like, and it's just the most wild shit I've ever seen. Like, he's just talking about doll utopias and like how the world will be perfect so he can have his doll queens and princesses and shit. The other one was that he's literally quoting Emperor Palpatine, talking about his dolls and how like people can't stop him. The man's a fucking genius. I mean, we elected Donald Trump, and this man was in our back pocket all along, you know? We really could have had, like, an honest-to-God, like, country if this man was allowed to lead, you know? These are the people who should be fathers, and they can't be because dolls can't have babies yet. Or I'm sure they're working on that. What were the other videos? Oh, yeah. So then he's got 7 videos of him taking his different cats named after different Marvel characters on walks. Got about 7 or 8 videos of that. After that, he has different videos of him doing things with the dolls, going places, all kinds of stuff that are longer. 3-hour-long videos where he's just talking at the camera with the doll sitting next to him on the couch. One of these videos is called the double rollover technique. And so I was like, whatever, it's a few minutes, let's put it on. So he's talking, he's like, so, people tell me, they say, how do I get my stress out? Huh? How do I get my stress out with these dolls? I don't have sex with any of my dolls. They're not like that. They're not fetish objects. I love my dolls, but also, I'm a man. I have to get some feelings out. I gotta move along. I gotta feel better. Sometimes I get stressed and worked up, and I gotta get it out. So I'm gonna show you something I call the double layover technique. So here we go. And so he has 2 dolls in bed, wrapped like mummies, just sitting there in bed. And he's like, alright, so here are your dolls. What you're gonna want to do with your dolls is that you're gonna basically hop up on top of them like this. And then he just proceeds to crawl over them and lay down on their titties with their titties between his neck and his like dick. And he's just sitting there and he's like, alright. With his body draped over, like one titty here, one titty here, one titty here, one titty here. He's like, all right, now you're going to want to just lay here for a few minutes. Now, what's really starting to kick in here is the 4 points of mammary contact. The 4 points of mammary contact. Now, and he says it like that. He says it twice. He's like stressing these things that he's invented. He's talking about how he doesn't have to fuck them because he gets to lay on their titties and it just rubs on him. It feels good as a man, so then he feels better. It was the most beautiful thing I could ever see. It was wonderful. I didn't even know that people were just out here giving gifts like this every day. Just to have this man teaching me these wonderful things about if I ever wanted my own companion doll that I don't fuck, you know, how to get my emotions out, how to have people accept me. There's also a lot of stuff, and this kind of falls a little bit in line with what we're talking about, the fetishization of things that don't make sense. You know, there's some things that people fetishize that make sense. Feet, for example, was an interesting one that we didn't get for a long time, but it turns out there's something in the brain with feet and sex, apparently, that gets crossed, like a association between them, or like parts of the brain that are close. So it can make sense how sometimes things cross over into other stuff. Weird stuff can happen, and sometimes it's just how people are. You're just wired like that. But that makes sense why foot fetishes and stuff are such a big cause. But it also seems like they spread. There's one guy with a foot fetish, and then all of a sudden it's 2020, and bitches are selling feet pics. You understand? Every sex worker is selling pics of their feet. Women are there's a feet wiki for actresses. Okay, 70 years ago, no woman got nude on camera. Some women did, of course. There's still pornography. These things happened, but nowadays you can literally find an actress in a movie and find 90 pictures of their feet on Feet Wiki. You understand? It is a different time. So fetishes and stuff can just spread rapidly, just continually snowball until they become something else. And that's oftentimes what they do, where they start to branch out. People in these communities start to need more, start to have things that they cross. And that's the other part of this that makes me think they spread. Kind of not like a disease. I don't want to say a disease because that makes them bad, but like it does spread in a way. And I think there's certain ones that you cross out of this. I don't think certain ones can spread, like pedophilia and stuff. I think that's a fucked up wire crossing. But I think there are things like foot fetish where the association in the brain is close, and maybe if you see this enough, all of a sudden it starts to work its way in. You know? There's also very interesting, there's fetishes that people are very intent on, they've devoted their lives to, only because, but it seems they have only come about and only started not because that person, but because that person found a specific community and became the leader and figurehead of it. So some things that remind me of this. Balloons, right? People that used to fuck balloons, that was big in like 2000s, 90s, that started to get up. I'm trying to think of other ones. Women riding washing machines, men that fuck cars. There's like one guy that found a car attractive. Now all of a sudden there's shows about a few guys that have that. There's like people with Instagrams and stuff. And maybe they were always there just repressing that, and now it's finally coming out into the open. I don't know. And maybe they're happier living their life. I don't know what's better. My point is, though, that these things do tend to infect, right? They tend to grow. They tend to become more. Now, if I'm wrong about this, and I'm just saying crazy shit, and somebody has things that disprove me, please let me know. I'm down to listen to that. I'm down to read. I'm down to learn more. I'd love to. It's just, it does feel sincerely like fetishes spread. We have very specific fetishes that some people, it just doesn't seem like would have came about unless some specific, like for example, so Reddit has specific porn categories, right? But a lot of times those things end up crossed over, where it's like things getting cross-posted into other stuff and into other stuff, and all of a sudden like it's the same people posting the same kind of material in all like 80 million different things. These people are trying to get Reddit points, and then you sell the account for extra money or whatever, right? But these Reddit accounts are still putting these out. And this, I think the more posts you put out of something, the more likely it is that you get these almost fetish-like converts. These people who start to see things more and more become associated with this. Now, this can happen in a lot of ways, not just through pornography, but through things you see in every day. Women that you see attractive, what they do. If women you think are attractive start wearing flowers in their ears, all of a sudden you are going to start seeing flowers in women's ears and start thinking women are a little bit more attractive for that. The bitch with the witch's hat, you know what I'm saying? The witch's hat that you get at the farmer's market and shit. Like, you start seeing chicks that you like wearing that. All of a sudden, you might start liking that hat on chicks that you normally wouldn't like any other reason for. And so I'm bringing this up. This is not necessarily the most sound argument either, and that's why I am asking for help. But these are things that go through my mind, things I worry about. Victoria's Secret just unveiled their first Puerto Rican model. Sorry. She had Down syndrome. She was first Down syndrome model. They've had a lot of Puerto Ricans, but they came out with that this week. Now, we've seen it. We've seen it in Target. Different ads have people with Down syndrome and handicaps, and I think that is good. I don't see a bad thing in that. It does feel sometimes forced if it's a whole magazine. It doesn't seem like you're giving them an equal opportunity for the same things if you just give them one magazine a year, you know? It almost is like put like 2 or 3 in a catalog every time you ship out, and now you're giving Down syndrome people like work and things, and that seems like it changes the world and actually helps things. But so they signed their first Down syndrome model, which is interesting. If it wasn't lingerie, I almost would feel differently, but because like I said, anything can truly be fetishized. But at the same time, with lingerie, we're putting that out in the world. Every one you put out is just one more instance that somebody can all of a sudden see something and kind of fetishize that, right? So what do we do if people fetishize these people? Mentally handicapped being very high in sexual crime victims, like very high rate of being victims of sex crimes. What do you do about that stuff? I think the smartest thing to do, and what Victoria's Secret should do, and it's their responsibility, is to talk about consent. You know, that's what because that's the thing too, is that you always that if you bring this up, they always go, well, what is her mental capabilities? Does she have the mental wherewithal? Which it seems like a lot of times the answer is yes. With this woman, this woman, she's I think 23, 24. She seems very smart, and like she can kind of convey herself. I'm not gonna say that she can consent from that, but that's what people will ask. Now, regardless of whether or not this is yes or no, which I imagine it's probably yes, sincerely seeing how she conducts herself. Whether or not it's yes or no, who decides that? You know? Also, if it is yes, which it totally can't be, and that's fine, it totally can't, and maybe nobody has to decide that. Maybe she can, I guess. God, I don't know. That almost sounds like elder abuse whenever we let them just just fork out money for people. It's like, is this allowed? You know? But I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. But all of a sudden, you start putting this stuff out. So what I'm saying is that right now, if you let her be the representative for people with Down syndrome, people are going to say, let Down syndrome people have more. Let them have more. They might even suggest giving them less things. But here's the thing. I had a Down syndrome guy that was not close to me, but lived nearby me when I was younger. He could barely walk, and he was blind. Have him on the cover. See what he says about the quality of life. You know? I remember I saw this thing on YouTube. It's this long thing. It is actually quite hilarious too. It's this guy with Down syndrome. He goes and he's in a suit. He's very smart. He has this essay written, and he puts down the thing on the at the, like, they're in a courtroom of some sort, or like a Senate kind of like court hearing kind of like place where there's a guy up front and people up there, and he's like talking. He's like, now, would you abort me? And they're like, what? I'm like, you're saying we should abort people with Down syndrome and allow them to abort people with Down syndrome, but do I not have a quality of life? And he's looking around. He has this whole fucking 5-6 page essay written about his experiences, the things he's done, colleges he's gone to, classes he's done, things he's loved. And it's like, oh, okay. For sure, dude, I'm happy you had that. For sure. We should let him speak. We should let him say that. We should let people feel that. Understand what he's saying. And then let the guy who's crippled and blind fucking talk. Alright. Now we had some representation. You know? Okay. Like, it's not good that that exists, but at the same time, it's so funny to have these people where it's like, I mean, she can consent. She's like, there enough. Okay. What about 60% of them, maybe? Like, let's give it a hefty. What about the 60% of them that can't? What about the ones that function at an 8-year-old level? These, like I said, these things will be fetishized. So what I'm telling you guys, because it's hard to understand now the message. What I'm telling you is that if you go out in the world right now and you find the most beautiful woman with Down syndrome you can, the most beautiful man with Down syndrome you can, and you cuff them, you wife them up, you make them your hubby, you know? You bring them home, you get them a ring, you take them out to steak dinners, you treat them fucking right, okay? And I'm going to tell you why, because that's Bitcoin in 2012. You understand? That's fucking Bitcoin in 20... You tell a few people in 2012... that you got 3 Bitcoin, huh? You paid $1,000 for 3 Bitcoin? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck? $1,000 for 3 Bitcoin? That won't be worth shit. People buy cocaine with that shit. They're gonna fucking... No. That's ridiculous. All of a sudden, 2015 starts rolling around. Oh, what's up, dude? Hey. What's up, man? How you doing? Oh, I'm good. How are you? I just bought a new house and stuff. I got a few more Bitcoin and stuff. Whenever we were, back in the day, I bought a few more after that, and I just spent some of them on a house, and I got a few more left. Oh, you spent a few Bitcoin on a... Yeah, I spent a few Bitcoin on a house. Oh, damn, that's awesome, man. Yeah. Now 2020 rolls around, right? All of a sudden, you're driving a fucking McLaren, like this man's begging to suck your dick, all right? I'm telling you, you go get you a Down syndrome. You go cuff a Down syndrome right now. All right, you're coming back with the motherfucking hot wife in 2022. Okay, that's gonna be Zac Efron in 2024. You understand? You get to 2030s, you will be dating what is the equivalent of Joaquin Phoenix and Keanu Reeves put together. You understand? They will be doing deep introspectives about emotion while also shooting guns at 8 at the same time, hitting all the targets simultaneously, okay? You will have a John Wick in front of you, just John dicking you down, okay? Buy. With genetic engineering, the supply is only going down. That means value doubles in the later years. I mean, I do hope they get representation. Like I am glad that it's not only being talked about, but Down syndrome people are part of the conversation now. I think that is smart. But I do wonder where doctors lie on this. I wonder what other people are thinking about this. I'm sure I don't want to make some Ben Shapiro take. I don't want to say something stupid that Milo Yiannopoulos would say. I just want to say my true feelings, some things I feel about it, make a few jokes. Because a lot of this is just a fucking joke. I'm not here to make anyone feel bad or feel like they should do one thing or shouldn't do another thing. It's a lot. Just trying to have fun. And some people are trying to have fun all the time. And there's a word for that. God deemed it. God deemed it gluttony. He said it's too much. You're a glutton. It means that you, a lot of people use it for eating, but it's overdose. Oh, well, not overdosing. Good God. I mean, it's, well, overdosing is a type of gluttony. You understand? Gluttony is taking any more than you need. That's all. And who are the most gluttonous? The people that roam the seas. The people whose thirst for salt in their face cannot be quenched. Not a pirate, no. Cruisers. Cruise ship people. It's 24-hour buffets every day. You pay the $1,000, you get the alcohol card, they just drink you till you're dead. You know? Just keep it going. Just give them more alcohol. Just give them more liquor. Do whatever you gotta. And everyone's out at sea just getting sloshed, falling over, sliding back and forth across the deck, just whopping it down with their sweaty... Ugh. And unfortunately, this weekend, during it, one of the ladies is getting arrested by security guards. You just see a video of her getting arrested, and the video is captioned, "This woman jumped off the cruise ship after this video." It shows them running over. The guy's like, "Damn, bro, we threw her life preservers and everything. She jumped off 10 stories, 100 fucking feet into the water. You're Dunyan rings. Fucking fried, bud. You're out. You're fucking out, okay?" And so they threw her life preservers. They couldn't get to her. So now the video cuts. It's him sitting there. They're talking about how they're going back home. They need to inform the family. This isn't going to be good, and they just need to go back to port. It's unfortunate. The doom, it's being worse and worse as things go on, but she fell a long, long ways. That's basically concrete at that point. After they're doing the announcements over, it seems as if we will not be able to... It was very hard to understand the video. It seems as if we will not be able to find her. It is very upset and a little... no, it is upsetting, and we will be returning to port tomorrow to inform her family of the disastrous news. And then immediately it's quiet for about 5-10 seconds, and then guy goes, "All right, so we're about to," and then all of a sudden, "For the first time, for the very first time, for the first time, Robin, for the very first time," like all that shit. Literally, just right after they're explaining that one of the fellow passengers is dead, and that they will be informing the family tomorrow at whatever time after they're docking, they're just playing whatever pop hit they can come up with. It's just like, wow, what a wonderful... It's good to know that when America's Titanic goes down, we'll be playing 80s hits, you know? It's good to know that whenever America dies, that we'll be playing the stuff that my mother grew up to. That's who's in charge. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe you know who's in charge because after they give you the bad news, their music starts playing. You know? Maybe that's what we need to listen to. The president just gets down off the fucking... gets down after a speech and just... I can't do it. That's going to get me in trouble. All right, dummies. I think we're fucking good for today. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you being here. I know it was fucking wild. I know it was an insane one. I know this is one that may come back to bite me in the ass. But that's what we did. I was going to wear the pink one. I didn't. Now I'm wearing the yellow one. And I see... I'm sorry. I tried. Okay? But thanks, dummies, for being here. Love you guys.